What if the most powerful tool for erasing anxiety wasn't hidden in some expensive wellness retreat, a new age app, or a prescription bottle? What if it were free, you could get it anytime, and it's been waiting for you all along? We spend so much of our lives searching for a reset button, a moment of peace and quiet from the non-stop hum of modern life. We look for it in quiet rooms, on yoga mats, you name it. But neuroscientists are pointing to a solution that's as ancient as the tides themselves. One that doesn't just calm you down, but actually helps rewire your brain for relaxation. The secret isn't complicated. It's the beach. More specifically, it's the simple act of walking on sand. I know, it sounds almost too simple to be true. But the science shows a surprisingly complex and powerful chain reaction between your body, your brain, and the unique sensory world of the coast. This isn't just about a pretty view. This is about using a powerful combination of physical, auditory, and tactile sensations to break you out of an anxiety loop and into a state of calm. Let's be honest, our brains are getting absolutely pummeled. We're living in an age of total cognitive overload. Every notification, every email, every little ping and buzz is a tiny demand on our attention. This creates a state of chronic, low-grade stress, where our nervous system is basically stuck in fight or flight mode. The hormone running this show is cortisol, and when it's constantly flooding your system, it leads to that all too familiar feeling of being overwhelmed, frazzled, and anxious. It's a neurological traffic jam. Our brains just weren't built for this relentless stream of information. We're wired for the natural world, for rhythms and patterns, not the chaotic static of digital life. This constant overstimulation wears out the part of our brain that's in charge of focus. The result? Mental fatigue, burnout, and a mind that just refuses to switch off. We've gotten so used to this feeling that we think it's normal. It's not. It's a sign that our brains are desperate for a different kind of input, a restorative environment that can untangle the knots of anxiety. And that's exactly where the secret of the beach comes in. The first, and maybe most surprising, piece of this puzzle is right under your feet. The moment you kick off your shoes and step onto the sand, you're doing a lot more than just enjoying the texture. You are firing up a powerful neurological system called proprioception. You can think of proprioception as your sixth sense. It's your brain's internal GPS for your body in space, the constant chatter from your muscles and joints that lets you move without having to consciously think about every single step. Our modern shoes, with all their cushy soles and rigid support, basically put this sense on mute. They put a barrier between your feet and the ground, dulling the sensory feedback your brain is supposed to be getting. But sand is a whole different ballgame. It's an unstable, ever-shifting surface. With every step, the sand gives way, forcing the thousands of tiny stabilizer muscles in your feet and ankles to make constant micro-adjustments just to keep you from tipping over. This isn't just a physical workout, it's a neurological one. Walking on an unstable surface like sand dramatically amps up the proprioceptive feedback to your brain. Your feet, which have an insanely high density of nerve endings, are suddenly flooded with new information to process: the texture of the grains, the shifting pressure, the subtle change in temperature. This surge of sensory data travels straight up your nervous system and lights up the sensorimotor cortex of your brain, the area in charge of processing touch and coordinating movement. So, why is this so good at erasing anxiety? Because it forces your brain to be present. When your brain is busy calculating balance, adjusting muscle tension, and processing all this rich tactile information, it has way fewer resources left for rumination, the hamster wheel of anxious thoughts about the past and future. It's a form of forced mindfulness, grounding you in the physical reality of your body. Research shows this enhanced brain-body communication strengthens neural pathways and improves your brain's internal map of yourself. You are literally rewiring your brain to be more connected, more aware, and less trapped in its own head. As you're walking, your brain isn't just dealing with the sand. It's being immersed in a full sensory experience that neuroscientists are realizing has incredibly calming effects. Let's start with your eyes. That vast, unbroken horizon over the ocean is what psychologists call a blue space. In our daily lives, our vision is constantly being chopped up by walls, screens, and clutter. A wide-open view gives our eyes a place to rest, reducing strain and the mental load of processing a busy visual field. Research shows the color blue itself is often perceived by the brain as a signal of security and peace. Then, there's the sound. The rhythmic, whooshing sound of waves is one of the most therapeutic sounds in nature. It works on our brains in a couple of key ways. First, it's a form of natural white noise. It's a steady, predictable sound that masks the kind of abrupt, startling noises that would normally put our brains on high alert. This allows our brain to finally relax its guard. More importantly, the sound of waves has a specific rhythm our brains read as non-threatening. According to Orfeo Buxton, an associate professor at Penn State, these slow, whooshing sounds act as signals of safety, which helps activate our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system that calms us down. This rhythmic sound can even begin to sync up with our own biological rhythms, like our heartbeat and breathing. This process, known as entrainment, can lead to a measurable drop in heart rate, lower blood pressure, and a reduction in cortisol. And we can't forget the air. There's a theory that sea air is rich with negative ions, oxygen atoms with an extra electron, created by crashing waves. While the science is still being debated, some research suggests that breathing in these particles can increase oxygen flow and help the brain produce serotonin, the neurotransmitter that makes us feel happy and content. This multisensory symphony, the big blue view, the rhythmic sound of the waves, and even the air you breathe, creates a holistic environment that's scientifically optimized to lower stress. As you're walking, your brain isn't just dealing with the sand. It's being immersed in a full sensory experience that neuroscientists are realizing has incredibly calming effects. Let's start with your eyes. That vast, unbroken horizon over the ocean is what psychologists call a blue space. In our daily lives, our vision is constantly being chopped up by walls, screens, and clutter. A wide-open view gives our eyes a place to rest, reducing strain and the mental load of processing a busy visual field. Research shows the color blue itself is often perceived by the brain as a signal of security and peace. Then, there's the sound. The rhythmic, whooshing sound of waves is one of the most therapeutic sounds in nature. It works on our brains in a couple of key ways. First, it's a form of natural white noise. It's a steady, predictable sound that masks the kind of abrupt, startling noises that would normally put our brains on high alert. This allows our brain to finally relax its guard. More importantly, the sound of waves has a specific rhythm our brains read as non-threatening. According to Orfeo Buxton, an associate professor at Penn State, these slow, whooshing sounds act as signals of safety, which helps activate our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system that calms us down. This rhythmic sound can even begin to sync up with our own biological rhythms, like our heartbeat and breathing. This process, known as entrainment, can lead to a measurable drop in heart rate, lower blood pressure, and a reduction in cortisol. And we can't forget the air. There's a theory that sea air is rich with negative ions, oxygen atoms with an extra electron, created by crashing waves. While the science is still being debated, some research suggests that breathing in these particles can increase oxygen flow and help the brain produce serotonin, the neurotransmitter that makes us feel happy and content. This multisensory symphony, the big blue view, the rhythmic sound of the waves, and even the air you breathe, creates a holistic environment that's scientifically optimized to lower stress. If you're finding this breakdown of our brain's relationship with nature as fascinating as I do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're always exploring the hidden science behind our daily lives and how we can use it to feel better. You won't want to miss what we're diving into next. The benefits of walking on sand are cranked up to 11 by a well-documented phenomenon known as attention restoration theory, or ART. Developed by researchers Rachel and Stephen Kaplan, this theory says that natural environments are uniquely good at restoring our capacity for directed attention. That's the intense focus we use for work, studying, and solving problems. Like we talked about, this directed attention is a finite resource. When it's empty, we feel mentally tired, irritable, and unfocused. Art suggests that nature is full of what they call soft fascinations, things like the movement of clouds, the patterns of waves, or the flight of a seabird. These things gently capture our attention in a bottom-up, effortless way. Unlike the hard, demanding focus a computer screen requires, engaging with these soft fascinations lets our focus muscle rest and recover. And this isn't just a feel-good theory, it's backed by measurable brain data. Studies using mobile EEG technology have compared the effects of walking indoors versus outdoors. One landmark study found that a brief 15-minute walk outside led to a significant increase in the amplitude of the P300 event-related potential. The P300 is a brain signal directly tied to better working memory and attentional control. And here's the kicker, that same increase was not seen in people who walked for the same amount of time on an indoor treadmill. This tells us something huge: the environment itself is a critical ingredient. While any kind of walking is good for you, walking in a natural setting like a beach provides an extra layer of neurological restoration that an indoor workout just can't touch. The combination of physical movement and the restorative qualities of nature creates an additive effect, supercharging the brain's ability to reset. The beach, with its endless supply of soft fascinations, is arguably one of the most powerful restorative environments out there. It actively refills the cognitive gas tank that modern life drains away, leaving you not just calmer, but sharper. Knowing the science is one thing, but actually using it is what matters. To get the most anxiety-erasing benefits from your beach trip, you need to be a little intentional. Here's a quick guide to turn a simple beach walk into a full-blown neurosensory therapy session. First, and this is the big one, go barefoot. It's non-negotiable. The whole mechanism of proprioceptive feedback depends on the direct contact between your feet and the sand. This is how your brain gets that flood of sensory information that activates the neural pathways we've been talking about. Second, leave your phone in the car, or at least put it on silent and tuck it away. The whole point is to escape the digital noise, not bring it with you. You can't let your attention rest and recover if you're still getting pulled back into the world of alerts and notifications. Third, consciously tune into the sensations. As you walk, really pay attention to the feeling of the sand under your feet. Is it cool? Is it warm? Is it coarse? Notice how your muscles are working to keep you balanced. This simple act of awareness is a powerful mindfulness practice that anchors you in the here and now. Fourth, try syncing your breath with the waves. As a wave rolls in, take a slow, deep breath. As it recedes, exhale completely. This trick uses the ocean's natural rhythm to regulate your own breathing, which is one of the fastest ways to calm your nervous system and dial down the cortisol. Finally, give it time. Research points to noticeable cognitive benefits after just 15 to 20 minutes. Aim for at least a 20-minute walk to give your brain enough time to shift gears from a state of stress to one of restoration. This isn't a task to rush through, it's a process of immersion. In our search for peace of mind, it's easy to overlook the simple, powerful solutions that nature has offered us all along. The beach isn't just a vacation spot, it's a therapeutic environment, perfectly designed to counteract the stress of modern life. We've seen how walking barefoot on sand forces your brain into a state of mindful awareness, pulling it away from anxious thoughts. We've explored how the blue space of the ocean and the rhythmic sound of waves can calm your nervous system, lower cortisol, and even change your brainwaves to a more meditative state. And we've learned how the natural world actively restores your ability to focus, making you mentally sharper. That's the secret. The beach is a full-body, multi-sensory experience that rewires your neural pathways for calm. It's a powerful reminder that our brains aren't just isolated computers, they are deeply connected to our bodies and the world around us. Forget the expensive biohacks and complicated retreats. The most profound mental reset you can get might just be waiting for you at the nearest shoreline, a free, accessible, and scientifically validated antidote to anxiety. So, the next time you feel that grip of stress tightening, your mission is simple. Find a beach. Kick off your shoes. And just walk. Let the sand, the sea, and the sky do the rest. I'd love to hear about your own experiences. Let me know in the comments what your favorite beach is, and how spending time there makes you feel. Like and subscribe for more content.